Welcome to the Wanting to Wealthy podcast. My name is Ashley Hogan. I'm your host. This podcast is where we talk about all things money, money education, whether it comes to your business, your personal life, things that we should have learned, things that we want to know more about, and how it touches each of our lives throughout our lives and maintaining our financial wealth and making better choices for ourselves and future generations. With that, today's podcast episode is about life with a 6-year-old. In the past, I have done summer updates about how life with a 2-year-old, 3-year-old, 4-year-old has gone on. Last year, I did not have a podcast episode out in the summer when my son was 5, when my son was 5. So I figured I'd bring that back. He is going into first grade. He is homeschooled, and we are constantly learning and growing and developing still. Things are changing all the time, as they do with kids. So some of the things that happened with us is we had major medical issues with some stuff that with some family members last year, or people that we lived with, which can affect kids a lot. We moved houses. My husband quit his job and is now working full time in his business. So there's new changes and things that have happened. So my son, while getting more and more independent, has had a ton of changes happen in his life over the last year. And sometimes that comes out of sassiness, but or snark, but most of the time it comes out as amazing, fun things that we get to do, that we choose to do as a family. So his days often start out with self-directed learning and eating breakfast. And we set that up in such a way, because he gets up really early, that he can do things on his own. And I always give him the expectation of what our plan is the night before, so he knows kind of what the weather is going to be. Sometimes he gets stressed on his own, sometimes he doesn't. And he knows what to expect. So like yesterday, he had a friend over, they were going to ride horses. So before I got up, he was already dressed in jeans, because he knows he has to wear pants when he rides, because he knew his friend was coming over to ride horses. So he did that already. We have not stopped school. We do school usually 3 to 4 days a week in the summer. He did kindergarten last year, homeschooled. He's going into first grade this year, also homeschooled. And what I noticed, because we did start out with a routine of starting to do an online public school last year. And at least in my state, the kiddos were required seat time, even if they knew the material, even if they could get through the material faster than that required seat time, they had to sit there. And that was just an argument and a fight for us. Other things that I saw come up was one of our local schools had a strike. The school district had a strike last fall. And the teachers were being offered raises, and they were asking that those raises not be given, and instead to hire more teachers for the younger grades, because the kindergarten and first grade teachers were averaging 1 minute per student, per subject of time actually exclusively spent with each student because the class sizes were so large. So it's another reason that we kind of went towards homeschooling plus flexibility in when we're doing things. He is not reading yet, but he's doing multiplication. So we have a variety of spectrum. So instead of having to be exactly on course with every other student or be struggling and then be bored in math class, we kind of run at his pace, which is really nice for us. And we do school for an hour, and he gets all his subject work done. So it's nice because then we can go and do other things like house stuff. We're still in the middle of projects at home. Sometimes he does school with me, sometimes he does school with his dad, sometimes he does school with his grandmother, his Gigi. In not doing school with the same person all the time gives him access to different teaching styles. So he gets to learn for with math with me and spelling with my husband and things like that, and how we teach and learn ourselves. Um, we've had squabbles, like he was getting frustrated and he would just pit people against each other. So it was talking to my husband, it was, oh, well, you don't do it like mama does. And then he'd tell me, oh, you don't do it like daddy does. So we addressed that situation as well. And homeschool doesn't have to be expensive. It doesn't have to be secular or non-secular. If you don't want it to be, you don't have to do a homeschool group if you don't want to. There's lots and lots of resources out there. As long as the students are getting the material, that's really what it comes down to, in my opinion. Um, Obviously, he hasn't hit third grade testing, so we'll see how that goes when that becomes a thing. But we use a combination of things, which is a program called ABC Mouse. Which I'll post in the show notes. We use worksheets that I have found at um, the dollar store. We use educational books from the library. Um, PE are things like soccer or swimming or riding the horses, like those kind of physical activities that he's going to be doing regardless. Um, we use educational TV like National Geographic and History Channel and stuff like that for age appropriate things, mind you. Um, but students learn in a variety of ways. I had to talk to other people because I'm fairly certain that he has ADHD, and so I don't have ADHD. So I'm trying to figure out, okay, how do I communicate? How do I make this something that he's not just epically bored with? So I brought in my brother who has ADHD and asked him, like, what helps you focus on things? Um, so it was a lot about school, but when we're not doing school, he works with my husband. Sometimes he goes and helps us move hay, sometimes, and it's all his choice. He can choose to do that and choose to earn money or choose to earn a thing that he's working towards, but he's not required to. I mean, he's only 6. He can choose whether or not he's going to do that at that time. But things I don't pay him for are things like cleaning his bedroom. He has to keep his toys picked up out of the living room. He gets to decide how his bedroom looks, but there are consequences to that. We're in our Lego phase. So half his room is a minefield, literally. We can't get to it. So we go towards creating a path to his bed. He has to give us a path if he wants us to come in there and do a bedtime routine with him. And but if he does want to earn money, it's things beyond him cleaning up after himself and stuff like that. Um, we he still gets to go to his grandparents. Um, he gets a little time playing um, games on an old phone, but with him, it's not something that we do a lot of because screen time really affects his behavior. So we do a lot more outside time and um, things that he's interested in. Rock piles are still good, dirt is still good, sticks are still good. Does he ask for toys sometimes? Yes. But I mean, what kid isn't going to ask for toys? On the flip side of that, when we moved houses, he decided what toys he was done playing with and wanted to let go of, and what toys he wanted to move to the new house. That was not something I was going to do for him because my decision might be different than his decision. But telling him, hey, if this toy doesn't come with us and it's in good shape, I'm going to give it to a different kid. He was like, yes, let's do that. Um, because kids are generally empathetic and they want to help other kids, which is great. Um, so I guess in conclusion, this was really just an update if you guys have been listening for a really long time about my kiddo and different things that we've done throughout the years, how stuff's changed, how he's grown. I'm learning to be the mom of a 6-year old, almost 7-year old at this point, and it's interesting and fun and crazy how much life has changed um, from each year of his life through each year of his life. And if you would like to learn more about inexpensive homeschooling, um, children with fewer toys, helping them clean up after themselves, anything like that, um, let me know. I would love to create more podcasts in the child realm as well. Um, with that, thank you for listening, and I appreciate each and every one of you. And we'll catch you on the next episode.